All right, class. First off, as always, good day. I'm glad you're here. So today we're going to finish off the marketing section. Um, the objective today, we're going to be looking at how colors play a role in advertisement. And yes, they do play a big role. And we're going to go into that a little bit more in depth later on. We're going to analyze how algorithms are used by social media and search engines. This is the one that a lot of you guys were wondering, how does the your social media and all these places, when you see an ad pop up, how come it knows what you're thinking? Like, either you just thought about it, or you're just thinking about like buying something, or you want something else and it pops up in the ad. I'm going to explain that to you. And then we're going to create an argument on which is used more in advertisement: ethos, pathos, or logos. Now, I know you guys probably heard this before in your English class early in the school year, so you might have forgotten what each one means, but I'm going to refresh you on it, and we're going to go through some advertisements and see which one do they fall in. Okay. All right. So here's your warm-up picture. Um, the first question asks you, oh, well, that's a siren. The first question asks you, what is this artist trying to say about Amazon and small businesses? You know, what are they trying to say? Okay. The second question asks you, basically, it's kind of like a prediction one. But do you think in 40 to 50 years that mega stores like Costco, Amazon, and Walmart, do you think that they're going to be like the only stores left to buy from? You know, all these other little stores, um, all other type of stores that you only specific for one thing. Do you think they're going to go away? And those like three stores are going to be the only stores to buy from? Or you think that's not going to happen? You know, that there's always going to be a Target, a Best Buy, a GameStop, stores like that. So what do you think? Okay. So pause the video, give your response while we're moving on in three, two, one. All right. So I moved the little video thing to the side, as you may have seen, because I wanted you guys to see the whole thing of this. Now, the use of colors plays a large role in advertisement to make a person feel something about the product or company. Um, I'm sure some of you guys probably think, well, colors, honestly, yeah, colors play a real vital role, especially in your subconscious. It's a part of your brain that is thinking without you even knowing you're thinking. All right, a lot of times when you're thinking about something, it's right here in this frontal part of lobe area, um, and in the middle area, but the subconscious is back here, and that's always thinking, and it's going even when you don't know it's going. Okay, so here's your first question. Pick three of your favorite stores. I don't care which stores, well, I kind of do, but as long as it's legal. Three stores, three of your stores you really like. What colors do they have on their logo? You know, um, so if it's one color, put one. If it's two, put two. If it's three or more, put the three or more. Okay. Um, so like Target, you see the red circle and the outer circle and some of that. That's actually two colors. One is the red, and the second one is the white. Okay. So think of three stores. If you have to look online, like pause the video and look online to see the colors, by all means do that. Okay. But make sure you actually get the colors. All right. So um, if you pause the video to continue writing, by all means go ahead and do that. But I'm going to be moving on to the notes again. It says there's, remember the four segments or segmentations: demographic, psychographic, behavioral, and geographic. Those play a role in colors as well. You know, red, excitement, love, energy. Yellow, creativity, warmth, happiness. Green, nature, healing, quality. Blue, trust, loyalty. Purple, royalty, luxury, black, formality, dramatics, security, white, clean, simplicity. Okay, each one of these things play a role. And yes, even in geographic, because some parts around the world they use certain colors more than others, whether it's darks, whether it's brights, whether it's a mixture. The thing is, they use certain colors in certain parts of the world. Now, here's a little thing which should be fun. If you really notice, specific colors attract at different ages. So if you notice when little kids, they tend, if you look at the commercials, you see the toys, they tend to be very bright, very bright. The reds, the yellows, the greens, things like that. They tend to be brighter colors. As you get older, when you're in your teens and things like that, your things of color, because you're now expanding your horizons. Um, yeah, you variations of colors. People wear different colors for different things. And as you get older, you tend to kind of narrow it down. You don't really like wear like I'm gonna wear. You'll see an 80-year-old person go, I'm gonna wear yellow. Nah, not really. It tends to be a little more um, duller colors, things like that. Okay, even the stuff they use are duller colors. It's darker colors. It's not necessarily bright. Okay. Even holidays, believe it or not, use this too. So think of like Christmas. What colors is associated with Christmas? There you go, red and green. Usually, typically, people are with family, stuff like that. So you got love, you got energy, you got nature, you got healing. You know, and that's a time for Christmas to be with family and to uh, embrace each other and to start anew. You know, so there's that. Think of like Thanksgiving too. What colors are used for that? Valentine's Day, red, love. See, I mean, it's there. You just probably didn't see it, and that's fine. But from here on out, I do hope when you see color, especially used in backgrounds and things like that, you're going to be like, oh, I see what they're doing. That you're aware of this. That's why I'm teaching this stuff. So here's a little example of stuff. If you look to the left, you'll see like two menus. One is Denny's up on top, the other one on the bottom is Red Robin. And look at the background colors. The cheaper stuff, yellow, orange, and the more expensive stuff, it's the darker reds. Still red, bold, and things like that. So it's like $2. Oh yeah, you get a little egg and little biscuits and stuff like that. But you look at the $8 one, look at the background, look at all that food that's on there. It's like, oh man, yeah, that looks good. They get you thinking like that. The vending machine, look at that soda. The blue background, the water, the ice, right? Makes you think, oh, this is going to be a nice cold soda, you know. And see how they use the colors to make you think about that kind of stuff, even though you may not be thinking it. It's in your subconscious. And on to your right is a list of um, companies that use different colors for their slogans. You know, friendly. Look at Nickelodeon, Firefox, Payless. Um, several items that you may use, but look how it's associated with optimism, warmth, or the yellow. So you got like Best Buy, you got McDonald's. You know, you got like Subway. You look down to Trust, the blue one. Trust, dependable, strength. Lowe's, AT&T, H&P, Facebook, Walmart. You know, so they colors do play a role. Now, here's the thing too. A lot of the best advertisers persuade by using one of three things: ethos, pathos, logos, or they may use a combination. Forgot about that one. Sorry about that. They could combine two to make persuade you to buy something. All right. Now, just in case you forgot, I know your English class. You guys went over this a while ago, but just a little refresher. Um, I honestly would have this down because when you guys take your tests, um, you might be asked this. So, ethos, credibility, and trust. Personal brand. You see these celebrities like, oh, here's my vitamin water, here's my shoes, things like that. So, they're trying to sell you a product using somebody who's an athlete, somebody who's a famous person, you know. So, next one is confidence in delivery. Um, like back in the 80s, I'll say Domino's used to say, if your pizza is not delivered in 30 minutes or less, it's free. So a lot of people were like, well, heck yeah, I'll do that. If it's less than half an hour, I get a free pizza. I'll take it if it's a little cold, I get it for free. But on the flip side is, well, I'm gonna get it in less than half an hour. It's gonna be nice and hot. So yeah, that really helped out the brand, boost up its name. And credible sources, doctors, teachers, um, doctors when it comes to medicine, teachers when it comes to talking about education. These are people who know what they're talking about because they're in that field. You know, Pathos. Next one's emotions, values. So stories. So you'll see some commercials with like people talking about like how they were born in a gutter, came raised up, and they're doctors or whatever. Those are stories. Inspiration, again, either quotes or telling a story to uplift you. That's pathos. Okay? And logos is logical, proof or reason. So statistics, when they bring out, this blind study, triple blind study found that, la 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 la, that eating sugar is good for you, whatever it may be. Studies were done. That's the kind of stuff they would use. Here's the logic. Okay. So you may want to remember this or have it written down again, like I told you, because this is going to play a role in the next thing of questions. So what you're going to do is you're going to basically pick which one's number one. Is it ethos, pathos, logos? Same thing with number 2, 3, and 4. Now here's the thing. Some of them are 2. Some of them are 2. So remember, look at what each one is. Ethos, pathos, logos, credibility, um, the emotional or logical. So if you have to go back to that part of the video to see which one's which, by all means do it. But just remember, there are a couple that have 2. So let you go at it. Pause the video so you can do this, but we're moving on in 3, 2, 1. All right, so now here's the thing that you guys have heard me talk about. You may have heard it on the news, on articles, but it's about algorithms. Algorithms are a process or a set of rules to be followed in a calculation or other problem-solving operations, especially by a computer. They're problem-solving, and in this case, when it comes to marketing, it's how to get you to buy something. So social media algorithms use several demographics to select the best ad it thinks that you, the user, might be interested in. Okay. So again, remember the demographics, the age, sex, the marital status, the religion, all that stuff plays a vital role. Okay. Now, like a lot of you guys have told me, well, how does it know? How does it know what I like? Thing is, every time you use an app, use a website that says, they're going to be put cookies and you have to select the terms and agreements. When you do that, everything that you click that you like, you post, you recommend, suggest, purchase, search, hashtag, you follow, the keywords you use, all that stuff is counted, categorized, and put in a type of profile that's you. All right. So let's say you're a young lady. All right. right off the bat, boom, there's a section for that, just young ladies. And let's say now your age is 15 to 20. That narrows the gap even more. All right, now you're this group. Okay, so let's look at, are you married? Are you single? Or you have a boyfriend? Makes the search narrower. Do you have a job? Do you not have a job? Makes it narrower even more. Uh, what kind of stuff have you bought? What kind of stuff have you searched? And that makes the thing even more narrow, to the point now they have a good idea what kind of stuff you like, what kind of stuff you use, um, and they take that into consideration. So when you change something, let's say you're not married, this and that, you don't have a boyfriend, things like that, all of a sudden you do, and you start looking up stuff like vacationing. Now it's like, oh, well, now this person's with somebody, and then they're wanting looking for vacation, so now they're gonna be looking for probably places for like to get away, especially when it comes to Valentine's Day, stuff like that. Maybe it's your birthday, especially if you put it on there. Hey, here's this, here's that. You might be interested in this. You know, there's a Airbnb for this. There's a trip to this. They do that stuff. Oh, here's a thing of flowers. Candy, things, whatever. It's all based on the stuff that you chose, things that you like. And as one student told me some years ago, I did not give them permission. I didn't tell them, I didn't, sign anything that said that they can use that information. Yeah, you did. You did. When you clicked that terms and agreement, it says in there, somewhere in there, that they can use your information. You're giving them the permission to do that. Okay? That's all on you. That's all on you that you allowed it. Now, I know it sucks because if you don't accept it, you can't use the product. That's a thing. That's a trade-off. You know, there's no way around it. Um, and the thing is, if you really read it too, it tells you stuff like they can sell your information to third parties. You know, companies, marketing corporations, things like that, to again help them figure out what's a person at this age who shops like this, who has this that status, married, single, things like that. If they're in this religion, what kind of things do they buy, not buy? Um, all that kind of stuff is taken into consideration because you fit this profile. And chances are the probability that you might like this, it's going to play this role. Even where you live plays a huge role because they're not going to sell you snow boots if you live in like Southern California where it doesn't snow, you know. So everything is considered, it's calculated, formulated, and it spits it out. And that's why it seems like it's personalized to you. That's why it seems like, oh my God, how do they know what I'm thinking? Because chances are there's a high probability that you might be interested in this, and they just picked it right at the right time. All right, so here's your next question. It says, when you've used a new app or updated the terms and conditions, how many times have you read the whole thing? That answer should be zero. I have yet to meet a student who actually legitimately have read the whole thing. I've had students try to tell me they have, and when I mention some things that is typically in every single terms and condition things I've read, they have no idea what I'm talking about. So that one should be zero for every one of you guys. But now here's the other part. Now that you know what you know, will you read the terms and conditions? Will you see what they say? What kind of stuff are they putting in there? What kind of legal mumbo jumbo talk they're putting in there um, about what they can do? Will you read it or not? Okay. So please use the writing prompt on the bottom. Um, but go ahead, pause the video so you can write that out. But we're moving on in 3, 2, 1. So now it's your exit ticket. So go ahead and pick one of these two questions. Explain how color plays a role in advertisement. Explain it like you would to a 10-year-old, right? Explain it, give some examples, okay? The next one is, which do you believe is used more in advertisement? Ethos, pathos, or logos? You know, the credibility, um, the emotional, or the logical. Which one do you think is used more? And then why did you choose that one? Explain to me. Okay. So with that being said, that is the end of this lesson. Hopefully you learned something new. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Um, but next week we'll be talking about monopolies, not the game, but the actual monopoly, what it is, and things like that. Okay. So you guys take care, be safe, and I'll see you later.